Weird things are happening with the airlines. We're going to pick on American a little bit in this video, but we're going to talk about one good thing that's happening with United. Welcome everyone, I'm Mark, and in this video we're going to talk about things that are happening right now on the airlines in the US. As you know, I fly quite a bit, and I typically fly with these four airlines: American, Delta, Southwest, and United. Most recently, I've been flying on American, and there's some quirky things happening with American that I'd like to share with you. The first ones I'm going to talk about are very topical because they are COVID related. So what American does when you're in the waiting area, when you buy your tickets, just throughout the whole process leading up to the flight, is they are very adamant about their mask policy to the point where it becomes almost threatening. What they do is make announcements to the effect of masks are required throughout this entire flight. If you refuse to comply, you will be denied boarding on this flight and all future American Airlines flights. Holy cow, that is extreme. Which maybe I wouldn't have a problem with if they were consistent. The issue I have with American on this topic is they are inconsistent. They don't follow through. They have all the expectations on the part of the passenger, but they don't have many on themselves. For example, they cram people on those planes. They will sell every single seat. Now, if you travel with carriers like Delta or Southwest, they are continuing to try to space out their passengers. Southwest, for the most part, recommends leaving the center seat open, which means they're only selling to about 2/3 capacity. Now, they do allow you to sit next to your family and your travel companions, but as far as strangers, they try to create that distance by having, window, then an open seat, aisle, then the aisle itself, then the next aisle seat, then empty, then a window seat. So you're keeping distance. Delta flights I've been on are doing much the same thing, trying to leave the center row open. And I've even been on flights with some of the planes that have 2 seats, aisle 2 seats, and they'll checkerboard you. So when I'm in my seat, there's no one in front of me, no one in back, no one on the side. They'll have every other seat as a window, aisle. And that seems to show that at the very least, they are doing their part to follow through as well. But American, they expect us to do everything and they don't reciprocate. Likewise, they don't give any cabin service whatsoever. No water, no beverages of any kind, no snacks. Now in Delta, you may have seen in a previous video of mine, and I will link it down below, they give you snack bags. And in that snack bag, it's a little plastic bag, and it'll have, some crackers or cookies. It'll have a beverage. And I believe on some flights, they even give you a piece of fruit. And they will give you that. They'll pass it out to everybody, at least everybody who wants it. Now, I think that's pretty good because it is controlled distribution. Everybody's not grabbing it. Everyone doesn't have their hands in it. I don't know how it's any riskier. With American, they're saying no service. If you want something, bring it on. So I'm thinking to myself, well, so if I'm going to have a beverage, I'm going to purchase it in the terminal. If I'm going to have a snack, I may bring it from home, but I may also purchase it in the terminal. How is that any safer? People may be pawing through that, touching it, moving around bottles. I don't know how it's any safer to bring a snack on board than to have you be handed the snack in a more controlled environment by the flight attendants who are keeping their hands clean, wearing gloves, that sort of thing. So I think there are some inconsistencies. Now, the worst thing that really drives me bonkers, I shouldn't say it's the worst thing, it's the worst thing in this video, that drives me bonkers is the way that they handle standby and flight changes. When I got to the airport this week, I got there in time for another direct flight that was going to my location. My flight wasn't until like after 8 o'clock. It was like 3 o'clock, and I think there was a 4:30 flight. I said, can I get on that flight? And actually, I didn't say it. I was at the kiosk. And it was $75 change fee. And I thought, okay, I'll do it. Which, in my mind, I don't understand in the first place. If you already have a passenger, they're already a customer, they've already paid the full fee for their ticket, why are you charging them to change their seat? It costs you absolutely nothing. In fact, I could argue that you have a better chance of selling a seat that's going to take off in 4 hours than selling a seat that's going to take off within the next 90 minutes. So I don't know why you are going to penalize a paying customer simply because they want to change to a seat that is already empty and the flight's going to leave very, very soon. But it gets worse because with American, they weren't taking my money. And I said, what's going on here? So I left the kiosk, I went to the counter, and she tried it and couldn't. She said, oh, I know what's going on. This is an economy ticket. You can't purchase standby with an economy ticket. It's absolutely crazy. You have a paying customer that's willing to fill an empty seat and pay for that privilege, and you're denying them that opportunity. I don't know what the airlines are thinking. They try to save pennies by not giving you a cracker, and then they turn away dollars by not giving you an empty standby seat or not letting you pay for an empty standby seat. Absolutely nuts. Now, even the airlines that do let you, sometimes it's so outrageous. On Delta, I have had them ask for $250 just to get a change or a standby seat, which I think is just crazy. I don't understand their philosophy. Now, having said all this, one airline is doing something about it: United. United, out of those four you see behind me, is probably my least favorite airport for a whole bunch of reasons that I won't get into in this video. But listen to this email I just got from United. We're making a big change for the better. To support you during your U.S. travels, we've decided to get rid of change fees for good. Yes. You can say goodbye to change fees on most economy and all premium cabin tickets when you travel within the U.S., Puerto Rico, and U.S. Virgin Islands. Now listen to this. One airline wouldn't even let me pay for a change, and United is getting rid of the change fees. Starting this January, United will be the only U.S. airline to let customers in all classes of service fly same-day standby for free. Our Mileage Plus Premier members will have even more flexibility and can confirm a seat on an earlier flight for no cost at all. I say hip hip hooray. In the big picture, I don't think that the airlines are losing anything with seat changes. There's very little work on their part. Most of it can be done at the kiosk or when you're checking your bags. You know, it's a few touches of a keyboard or even at the gate. It isn't really costing them anything to do that change. In fact, it might even be saving them in that it's filling an empty seat and allowing them a larger window to fill the seat on the later flight. So good things happening at United, not such good things happening over there at American, and Delta and Southwest continue to fly partially filled planes. So there you go. That's what's happening in the domestic airline scene. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. Leave your comments down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe by clicking my face in the corner. And don't forget to ring that bell icon. That way you'll know when I post new videos. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Mark, and this is the Average Me Channel.